Hi, and welcome to this Getresponse tutorial. So Getresponse is an email marketing platform, and you can use it for all your email marketing solutions. You can also use it if you want to build landing pages. If you want to use it for webinars, you can use Getresponse as well. Getresponse also has marketing automation solutions whereby you can check your KPIs, that is your key performance indicators, things such as if you want to see how many people opened certain emails and how those emails are performing. You can do some marketing automation with Getresponse. In this course, we are going to focus mostly on email marketing solutions, whereby you're going to learn how you can add contacts to your Getresponse account. You're also going to learn how you can collect emails on your website or any other place using the Getresponse forms. And then you're also going to learn how you can send newsletters using Getresponse. You'll also learn how to use Autoresponders, whereby if you want emails that need to be sent out when certain events occur or at certain times, you can do that using Autoresponders automatically. We're also going to look at other features in Getresponse, and when we come across them, we'll talk about them. So in this course, you're mostly going to learn about email marketing solutions, and by the end, you'll be able to do your own email marketing using Getresponse without having to hire anyone else to do it for you. And if you need to hire anyone, it will be because you don't have the time, not because you cannot do the specific actions yourself. So the first step is for us to sign up if you don't have an account, and Getresponse gives you a free trial of 30 days. That means that for 30 days you're going to have all the features, all the Getresponse features for free. And after 30 days you can decide if you want to subscribe for a paid plan or not. So you'll have 30 days to try and see all the features that are available. So in the next video, we're going to start by creating an account if you don't already have one. So I'll see you in that next video. Hi, and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to create an account if you don't have one. And Getresponse is free for a whole month, and you'll get access to all the features. So if you don't have an account, you're going to create one. Just enter your email, create a password, and then sign up. Or if you already have an account, you can just log into your account. So your password needs to have at least 6 characters, mix letters and numbers, mix lowercase and uppercase, and use special characters. And then click on sign up. And then you'll need to go to your email, the one that you used for signing up, so that you can click on the activation link provided. So if I come to my email, I can click on activate your account. And then to activate the free trial, you'll have to fill in all these details. And then you'll click on activate trial. So this is all on you. You'll fill in your first name, last name, and then provide your phone number. And then this is optional. The company is optional. You have to give your address, street, city, state. Just put in your details, your country, your website, that's optional. Industry, that's also optional. And if you have a list to import, you can click here, but just leave this. Don't check this. We're going to see how we can do this later on. And then once you've filled in all these details, just come down here and click activate free trial. So I'm going to pause so that I can fill in all these details purposely to make this video shorter. So I'll see you once I'm done in the next step. After filling in all your details, your Getresponse account will be ready and your free trial has now begun. So we'll continue on from here, where we're going to start learning how to use Getresponse one step at a time. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome. So after you've created your account, you land on the Getresponse dashboard, and this is what you have on the dashboard. So here you see they give you quick actions that you can take as soon as you create your account. You can add contacts. You can create a form which you'll use for collecting subscribers, or you can send a newsletter if you've been able to import contacts into your Getresponse account. Maybe you're moving from a different email marketing solution such as MailChimp or any other place. You can send a newsletter if you have been able to import your contacts into Getresponse. So down here you can see that I have 30 days. So you have a free trial for 30 days and you can play around with Getresponse and see what you like and what you don't like about it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to subscribe. So let's do a quick overview of the dashboard. So here you have these different links, and we are going to go through most of this throughout this course. So you have the contacts, and the contacts, these are your subscribers. So you can add contacts, you can import contacts, you can add custom fields. We'll see what these are later on, and we'll also see what these are later on. Then we have messages. Messages are the actual emails that you'll send out to your subscribers. So here you can see you can create a newsletter, and you can look at newsletters that you've created so that you can maybe edit them or reuse them. Under messages you also have autoresponders, and we're going to look at autoresponders in details later on. We also have statistics. Once you've sent your campaigns, maybe you want to see how they're performing. You'll come here and you'll see how your emails are performing, and you can also see your contacts. Once you've imported your contacts, you'll see the statistics for those emails that you've imported into your account. Then if you did any surveys, if you created surveys, you can see how they are performing as well. Then you also have surveys. You can look at surveys that you've created, and you can also create new surveys. And then forms. Now forms are a way for you to collect subscribers, and we'll see how to create them and how you can add them on your website, and how you can also add them to your Facebook page. So we'll see this later on. And then you also have landing pages. You can create landing pages on Getresponse. If you want people to subscribe to something, you can create a landing page. Then you have your form on that landing page so that you can tell them about whatever you're trying to get them to know about. Maybe it's a course, or maybe it's something new you're creating. It's a new website. You just want to get them prepared. You can create a landing page on Getresponse. And then we have automation. This is one of the newest features in Getresponse, and it is a very powerful marketing tool. This is something that you can use to track your KPIs. That is your key performance indicators. So this is a little bit complicated, and we're going to look at it later on in detail. And then we have webinars. You know what webinars are. If you want to create a new webinar, you can go ahead and create one and manage the webinars that you've created, or the ones that you have created in the past. So you can see Getresponse has a lot of features, and we're going to look at them one step at a time. We're mostly going to concentrate on email marketing. So we're going to start with contacts, how you can add subscribers, and then we're going to look at forms, how you can create forms. Then after that, we'll look at messages, how you can create newsletters and send those newsletters. So at this point, you're going to learn how you create templates. If you've used MailChimp, so this is equivalent to templates. If you know about templates in MailChimp, this is almost the same as that. So we're going to see how you can create templates and send them out. Then we'll also look at autoresponders once we've learned how to create templates and how to send them out. So here on the dashboard, we also have this part where you can change the campaigns. So a campaign is a cluster. It is just a way for you to group things that are related. For example, you have contact emails for a certain campaign, and a campaign will contain messages you send to those people. It will contain the contacts for those people. So you can create different campaigns in here. So the campaigns in Getresponse are not the same as campaigns in MailChimp. So you can have different settings. You can change the settings for campaigns. If you just come here and you click on this gear icon right here, it will enable you to change the details for a campaign. So a campaign, as I've said, is a cluster. It will contain the contact emails, messages you send to those people. It is a group. It is a way for you to group related items in your email marketing. So for example, maybe you have one campaign whereby you have students and you want to group everything you send to students. Another one, maybe you have premium subscribers where you'll have all the contact information for the premium subscribers, all the emails you send out to them. So that's a way for you to group different things. Then here you also have your account, and you can do different things in your account. If you want to integrate, if you want APIs for Getresponse, maybe you want to integrate it somewhere on Shopify and they ask you for API keys, you'll come down here under your account and then you can do integrations down here. This is where you'll get your API keys. So in this video, we have taken a look at the dashboard and we've seen all these different links in Getresponse, and we've said that we're going to look at them in detail later on. And then we've also said something about the campaign. So here, this is very important. The campaign, you must always know which campaign you're working on, because as I've said, you can have different campaigns. One maybe for students, one for free members, another one maybe you can have for premium members, whereby you'll have all the contact information for all your premium members, and then you can send them different messages from the free members. So you must always know the campaign you're working on. So if you want to change your campaigns, you can just change it somewhere here, and you can even create a new campaign. You can go to the campaigns list. So everything will always be under a certain campaign. So a campaign, as I've said, is a way to group them. You can group all the related items. So that's it for this video. In the next video, we're going to start by seeing how we can import contacts into Getresponse. And if you have any contacts, you'll be able to see how you can import them into Getresponse, and we're going to see different ways of how to do this. I will see you in the next video when we start looking at contacts. Hi and welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how you can add a contact to your Getresponse account. So throughout the videos, you're going to be using these emails as samples where necessary. So right now, we are going to start by adding contacts, and I'm going to show you how you can add one contact at a time. So if I come here under contacts, I'll just go to add contacts. So this is for that scenario where you want to add one contact at a time. So if you manually want to add a contact, you'll just come into contacts and then click on add contacts, and then you'll be able to add the contacts that you want to add here. So in this case, you'll need to choose the campaign, and as I said, a campaign is a way for grouping related contacts. So if maybe you have different levels of users in your website, you can use campaigns to group them. So if you were to create other campaigns, you'd go back to the dashboard, and then here you remember where there was that form with the name of the current campaign. You can click on it and you'll be able to create a campaign. You're going to create another campaign later. So it's important to note that the campaigns in Getresponse is not the same as the campaign that you know about in MailChimp. That is, if you've used MailChimp. So you can add the name, and then you add the address, and then if you want to add another field, maybe it's an age, you can add that right here. Date, you can add that. If you want to add maybe a city, you can add that. So there are a whole bunch of others that you can add. So if you want to add a website link, you can just add that. So I don't need to add any of this, so I'll just delete that. Let's come back to this list that we have and let's add a name. Let's call this as the name, then paste it there, and then let me go back for the email. And then just click add contact, and that will add the contact, and you can add another contact. Control C, Control V, the name, and then I have permission. Make sure you click this add contact, and that will have been added. So we can go to our contacts and click here on search contacts. When you click on search contact, it will bring you to this. So here you can search for contacts. If maybe you want to search, you can search for the contacts, or you can come and view all the contacts. So these are all the contacts that we added. So if you have other campaigns, you can choose the contacts that are in that campaign here. So you can also do other things. You can copy to a campaign, move to a campaign. You can send a message to just that particular contact. Then you can add custom fields. You can remove them from account. So if you want to remove from account, you can just come and choose the ones that you want to remove. And then once you select, you can select all your contacts. You can choose all. Like if I just come here and say choose all, and then down here there's this place for actions where you can do something. For instance, if you want to remove them from your account completely, you can click this to remove. You can remove from the campaign. You can copy them to a different campaign. If you have other campaigns, you can move to another campaigns. Moving them will move them completely. Copying will keep the versions that you have here and will also copy them to the new campaign. Or you can send a message to the selected contacts. So in this case, I don't want to remove them. I'll just leave them, and I want to go back to the dashboard. So in the next video, we're going to see how you can import contacts. We're going to see different ways of how you can import contacts. And before we do that, we are going to create a new campaign which will house those contacts that we'll import. So I will see you in the next video when we continue from here. And just a recap, in this video, what we've done is we've seen how you can add contacts manually. If you just have a few contacts to add, you can just add them manually. You just paste in the name. Once you click on add contacts, you just paste in the name, and then you paste in the email. And if you have to add any other custom fields, you'll just choose to add those fields. And also you must make sure that you're adding them to the right campaign. But even if you add them to the wrong campaign, when you go to contacts, you will be able to move them, copy them, delete them, or remove them as you may need to. So I will see you in the next video when we continue from here by importing contacts. Hi, so let's continue. And in this video, we're going to see how we can import subscribers into our new Getresponse account. The first thing I want to do is to create a new campaign which will house these new contacts. So to do that, I'll just go into create campaign. And the next thing is you give the campaign a name, and let me call this one new students. Then create campaign. So it must be all lowercase, new students. You can use numbers and the underscore if you want to. So in this case, the first thing I want to do is to add contacts. So you can click here, or for me, I want to come here and say import contacts. So there are three different ways in which you can import a contact into your Getresponse account. So the first one is copy and paste. If you have a lot of emails and they're on a text file like this, you can just copy all of them and then come and put them in here. But the first thing you have to note is that they have to be separated. If you're going to use this method, they will have to be separated using a comma. So, for example, if this is the first contact, so you'll have the email, then let's say that's the first name. You can use it just like that as one name, or if you want this to be two different names, you will put there another comma. But in this case, I want this to be one name, so let me add a comma there and use a space, add another comma. So the comma will let Getresponse know that this is one field, that is another field. So they have to be well organized. You see, the emails are coming first and then the names are coming second. The email first, name second, email first, and name second. So I will Control A, Control C to copy this, and then if I bring it here and click on, I give my word that I have permission to copy this list. After doing this, I can just import the contacts. And then now you can see that you'll need to give the fields a name. So for example, these ones will automatically be detected as email addresses and they will appropriately be labeled as email address. So this will be one field. This field needs to be given a name. So these were names. So I'll just come here and look for something like name. Yeah, I can choose name. And if you see this, if you come here, we look at our import, you'll see that the first one was Bizanosa Gmail and the name was Bizanosa first. So they have been aligned correctly. And if you have a lot of them, they will all be aligned correctly. So if there were other fields, you could add a custom field. Maybe you want to add a certain field and it is not within these ones. You can also add custom fields. Maybe you want to add something like title. Do you have title? We don't have title. So if you want to add something like title, you can add title and then you can give it the same value, title. This is what will be used for storage in Getresponse. So if I say add, it will add this value of title. And since I don't need it, I'll just click here to delete it. Now, we've given this one a name. If you had other fields, you'd have to also give them labels. This field labels. Okay? So, let's go to the next step. So if I click next, and then you can choose the campaign where you want it to go. Maybe for you, you have premium members and free members. You'd be able to choose where you want the list added because you don't want to mix your premium members and your free members. So in that case, you just choose the right campaign. In my case, I just want to use these new students. And then if I had autoresponders, I would be able to click here, add into cycles on day, and then I would choose the autoresponder. But in this case, I don't have any autoresponders created, and therefore this would not make any sense for me. So after all this, I can just click on finish import. Import successful. So now that you already have contacts in the campaign, you can create a newsletter and send to them, or you can import more contacts. So what I want to do is I want to go back here into import more contacts. So in this video, we have seen how you can import your contacts using copy and paste. In the next video, you're going to see how you can upload a file. And then in the next one, you're going to see how you can use other services. If you already have contacts in those services, how you can just link to them and then import those from those services. from these services. So we'll just brush up on this later on after we look at how you can import a file. For example, you have a CSV file that you have exported from another email marketing platform, for example, MailChimp. So we're going to look at that in the next video. So in this video, we've just seen how you can import via copy and paste. But what I want to do is I need to go and delete the contacts that have imported, because the next ones that I'll be importing will be the same as the ones I've just imported. So I can go into contacts and let me go into search contacts, and then let's say view all contacts, and the contacts that we want are, so in this case I want to remove this. Since I know them, I can just remove them manually, and once I select them I can click on action and I will click on remove from account. Okay. So a word of caution, since the emails were all similar and I selected remove from account, it removed everything from the account. If you want to remove them just from the campaign, make sure you just remove them from that particular campaign. But if you want to remove them overally from your Getresponse account, you click on remove from account. But if you only wanted to remove them from one campaign, make sure you say remove from campaign. So in the next video, what we are going to do, we are going to see how we can import the same contacts as a file upload. So I'll see you then. Hi and welcome back. In the last video, we saw how you can import contacts just by copying and pasting. And we said that if you're adding your contacts, you need to separate the different fields using a comma. You can use a comma, you can also use other delimiters, but a comma is good enough. So if you wanted this to be different fields, the email will be a different field, that will be a different field, and we called this one name when we were importing it into Getresponse. And you also have to make sure that the different contacts are in different lines. So that's the first line, that's the second line. So in this video, what we want to do, we want to import our contacts from a file, using a file. And the file we're going to use is still this one, and that is what made us delete all our contacts. Let's get started, and I will go into contacts, then click on import contacts. So in the last part, we copied and we pasted our contacts in here. In this video, we're going to upload a file. So the different types of files that you can upload are CSV files. So in most email marketing solutions, when you export your contacts, it will either come as a CSV or it will come as an Excel file. So you can import a CSV file, a TXT file, a VCF file, contact. This is most contact forms. Even in Google, I think it's stored as VCF. You can import a VCF, you can import XLS, and you can also import an open style sheet. This is if you're using OpenOffice, you can import a style sheet from OpenOffice as well. So let me go and choose my TXT file. And the TXT I want to import is this email import. And click there to confirm that you have permission to import these contacts. And then I will just click on import contacts. And you can see this is the same process as the last video, whereby the emails will automatically be detected as email addresses and will be put correctly as email address. And then for this other field, you'd have to give them a name. So this, let's just call this name. If I had put a different maybe a comma here, and also another one here, and also another one here, we would have 3 different fields. We would have, this would be on a field of its own, that would also be on a field of its own, and in that case, maybe you'd call it first name, and then the field with this, you'd call it last name. But in this case, it's all in one field, and therefore that's why I'm just calling it name. And if you also have other fields that does not fit in any of these others, then you can just come here and create a new field. You can create a custom field. Maybe you have a field for the title, maybe then you'll create a field there, call it title, and then give it a value title, and then you'll add that. In this case, I don't have a field called this, and therefore I will just delete it. We also have this advanced settings right here, whereby if maybe your contacts were separated by something else, you'd come here and choose what they're separated by. Like if you get a file and the contacts are separated using a tab or a keystroke, you'd come here and select that. But in this case, ours is separated using a comma. So this is what I was telling you. You can separate it using a semicolon, a keystroke, or a tab. So here, instead of using that comma, it could have been a semicolon. And the same here, this would also have been a semicolon. So you can use a semicolon, you can use a comma, and any of these others. In this case, it's a comma, and it was rightly identified as a comma. And since we don't have anything else here to match, we'll just go to the next step. That may not be the case for you. Maybe you have different fields. You have lots of other fields that you need to match and create fields. If you have to create new fields, you'll create new fields for them. If you'd have to use fields which are already there, you'd choose the fields for them. So the next step is for you to choose the campaign. Where do you want the contacts to be listed under? In my case, I want them to be listed under new students. If I wanted them to be listed under this other campaign, I would choose that. But in this case, I want them under this one. And if I had any cycles or automations, I would select that right here, but I don't have any automations. So, I don't have any autoresponders. So I will just skip this. I will not select it. And then I will click on Finish Import. There we go. Our import is successful. We've imported 3 contacts. And if you want to do anything else here, like create a new newsletter for them, you can do that if you know how. Or if you want to import more contacts, you can do that. If you want to see the list of contacts that you've imported, you can just go into contacts and then search for contacts, and then there you'll click on view all contacts. But in this case, I want to show you the other option of importing contacts. Let's just talk about it before I end this video. Now we also have this other option for another service, and this other service could be from any of this. So if you have contacts, maybe you have a Google Doc with all the contacts that you need to import. Maybe you have contacts in your Gmail and you want to import them into Getresponse, you can do that right here. Maybe you have your email information in Salesforce, you can import them into your Getresponse account. For example, let me click on Salesforce. You'll see if you click on this, you'll need to authorize your account. I don't have a Salesforce account. So let me go back. And if you have contacts in Zendex, you can put the URL of your Zendex right there, and then your username, password, and then you'd be able to import your contacts. Let's go back. Magento, maybe you have a Magento website, you can put your Magento link to your Magento site right there, your username, and then the API key, and then you'll be able to import the contacts. So let's say maybe we were importing from Google Contacts. Let me just go to Google Contacts. I know I'm logged into Google right now. It will ask me for permission to access my Gmail, and I can just say, okay, let me allow this. So these happen to be contacts from my Android phone. So if I wanted to import them, I would just click here and then import them, but I don't want to. So I'm just going to go back there. So that's how you can import from any of these services. If you have them, just put in the necessary information. In most cases, if you're using another email platform, what you can do is you can just export the contacts in that email platform. And if you don't know how to export the contacts, just go online and Google how to do it. Maybe you're using MailChimp and you want to export your contacts from MailChimp. Just go to Google, search how to export contacts in your MailChimp account, and then you come to Getresponse and you upload the file here. You upload the file. If there are any fields that you don't want, you can delete them. So that's it for this video. We'll continue on in the next video. I will see you then. Hi and welcome back. So before I move on to forms, let's see what's remaining under this list. So we've looked at adding contacts, search contacts, import contacts, and we've also touched on this briefly, but let me just click on it so that you can see what's here. When we did an import of contacts into Getresponse, you saw that you could just select from a drop down and there were available fields. So for example, we had name, first name, last name, there was also URL and a bunch of others. So if you want to create anything that you want to be available under that list, you can add it here. For example, I did say something about title. So I can add title and then the type. What is it? It can be any of this. So let's say title is just a text, a single line. A format, it can be checkbox. Let's come here. We want it to be a text, a single line. And then custom field value. The value, just call it title. So if you want to add anything into that list, you can add it here. You'll just click save. So if you have any other fields that you want to add, you can add it here. So that needs to be a small letter. So let me make this caps. Then you can save the custom field. And if you save it, it will be visible for you the next time you are importing any contacts into your Getresponse account. So these are all the custom fields that are available, and you see if you want to create a new one, it will be possible. Just come here and click create new. And where's the one that we've created? This is the one that we've created. So if you don't want it, you can just delete it or edit it. In this case, I'll just delete it because I don't need it. So I'll just get rid of it. Okay, that's custom fields. Let's see what we have here. We also have this. So if you click on custom fields, it will bring you to this page so that you can choose whether you want to edit them, delete them, add. For the ones that you can add, some of these are created by Getresponse and you will not be able to edit them. So let's go to suppression list and we see what this is. You can add some contacts to your suppression list. So a suppression list is a list that probably the unsubscribers unsubscribed themselves using a form, or they unsubscribed themselves from a link in your email. And their status is changed to unsubscribed on your account. Or maybe they mark one of your emails as spam. Or if you send an email to the subscriber and it results in a hard bounce. A hard bounce is a permanent bounce whereby the email will not go. So in that case, you can add some list to your suppression list, some contacts, so that they don't receive the newsletters that you're sending. So you can import from a file. If you have a list of them, you can import them from a file, or maybe you can add them manually, or if there's a whole bunch of domains that you don't want to receive your newsletter, you can add that. And all these emails will not receive, and any emails with this domain will not receive your newsletter. An example is in MailChimp. Maybe some people unsubscribed and you did not remove them from the official list, and then you import that list into Getresponse, and you also have another list of people who had unsubscribed. So what you want to do is you'd bring that list, import it, and then once you import that list and you save it, it will automatically remove those people from your list so that they don't have to receive your email again. And then you can also look at your list hygiene and see how your list is. This will give you the option to remove any email addresses that you don't want to receive your newsletters. So this will unsubscribe them. You can even blacklist them so that they never ever have to subscribe to your list again. So that's your list hygiene. You can maintain it if there are people who maybe they subscribed but they are just spammers. You can bring their email addresses here, or you can add a domain. Maybe there's a domain that is a culprit of this. You'll just add all the emails here or the domains here. So if you want to add a full domain, you can just add like that, and all emails originating from this domain will be unsubscribed. Or if you want to blacklist them, you can blacklist them. So this list hygiene gives you the option to add to your suppression list as well as to blacklist. So you can do all that in one place right here. And if you want to do it to multiple campaigns, you'll just come here and select them and add to blacklist, or if you're unsubscribing them, unsubscribe them. So that's it for this part on contacts. In the next part, we're going to start looking at forms, how you can create forms, add them to your website so that you can use them to collect contacts. You can collect new subscribers on your website. So I will see you in that new section. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Until next time. Hi and welcome back. In this section, we are going to learn how to use Getresponse forms. So what are forms? Forms are a way for you to collect subscribers on your website. Maybe you're using a WordPress website. You may be using Shopify, Squarespace. So if you're using any platform, you can use Getresponse forms to collect emails on your website. So that's what we're going to learn how to do in the next couple of videos. So let me go into forms and I'll just click on create forms. First of all, let's do an overview of what we have here. You can see there are different options here. We have the list builder wizard. So the wizard is a way for you to just follow step by step in building your forms. And if you look at what we have down here, you'll see that there are a bunch of forms. Some of them are still loading, but there are a bunch of forms that you can choose one and then just follow along with the list builder. And then in the end, you'll be able to take the code and put it on your website. And then we also have the list builder apps. Let's look at this and see what we have here. So the list builder apps, these are certain kinds of forms that you may want to use. And if you just click on use app now, you'll be able to build one and then get the code in the end and put it on your website. And if you want to know more about them, you can just click here and it will take you to a link whereby it will have all of this with their explanations and what they are. But we're going to look at them in detail in a couple of videos. Then we also have the plain HTML. Now the plain HTML, this is when you want to build a form and just copy the code and put it on your website, and you probably want to style it using your own CSS. But in most cases, unless you're a power user and you know HTML and CSS, you won't be using this part. So how this works, we are going to look at it. You can just add elements and you can see it will add something there, and then in the end you'll be able to copy all this code. And then you also have various integrations, and we'll see how you can integrate using various plugins. For example, in WordPress, we'll be able to install a plugin and use it to create forms on our website. That's true for all these others. So the only example we're going to do is for WordPress and Facebook. So that's a quick introduction for forms. So in the next video, we're going to start at the list builder, and we're going to see how you can build a form and add it on whichever website that you have. So I will see you in that next video. Hi and welcome back. So we have started looking at forms in Getresponse. So in this video, we're going to see how we can build a form using the list builder wizard. If you're not already here, you'll just come into forms and then click on create forms, and it will get you here. So if I scroll down, you'll see that there are lots of different forms here, lots of different designs that you can choose from. And if you want a quick way to build a form, this is a quick way for you to get a form ready for yourself. So if there's any design that you like, you can just choose it and go into the next step. So there are very many. You can see that on this end, there are different categories, and these are just categories based on the designs that are here. So you can just choose something. Maybe if you click on free download, it will show you forms that could work well for a download. But in any case, you can just use any of them anyway. So you can see these are pretty wider forms. If you wanted wider ones, you just come down here and click the ones that you want based on the size. So in this case, let me just come back to the smaller ones. Actually, the first one I want to do, I want to put it on a page. So let me just take something like this one, use template. So there we go. And I don't want this video to be long. So in the next video, we're going to see how we can edit this form and then take the code and take it to a web page. So that's it for this video. I will see you in the next one when we get to editing this form. See you then. Hi and welcome back. So this is where we stopped in the last video, and in this video, let's see how we can edit this form and then take the code and put it on a web page. If you want to edit it, you can just click on where you want to edit, and on this end, you see there are different options. You can add a field. If you want to add a field this side, you can add a field. You can even change the size of the form. You can increase the size of the form. And if you just drag something, you see you can drag it and position it. If you want to delete something, just click there, delete. You want to add a name, you can add a name there. So these are all available fields for you, and you can choose any of these and just add it here. Maybe you want to add somebody's website. You can add that there. You can even add images. If you want to add an image, you just scroll, bring it this side, add the image location, and if it's too big, you can increase the size of the form right there. So maybe you don't want all this text, you can delete that. Put your image right there. Reduce the size of this. maybe change the wording in here. Just click and you can delete that. Maybe say join the others. Then let me delete all this. I'm just pressing delete on my keyboard and that deletes all of that. Then if I want to position it, I'll just click outside. Just click outside. And then I can just click on it and drag it like that. So I don't need this form. I'll delete this one. You can replace an image. You see here, replace. Just click on replace. So you're free to use any of these images which are in here, or you can come to my images, and under my images you'll be able to upload your own images. So right now let me just use one of these images which are here. Let me choose this light bulb, and you see it replaces the image which was there. So you can also upload your own images. If you just go to my images, you'll be able to browse into your laptop, or if it is in a link on a certain website, you just add that link and you'll be able to use it. So something else, I don't want this button to be here, so I want to bring it this side, and I can increase the length of the button so that it is the same width as these forms, like that. So I also don't want it to say download now. So if I just click here, I can just say join now. That will do. So if you don't like the color of this, you see this side where we say style, you can change the colors. So let's make this some kind of blue. Okay. Then the hover color, when somebody puts their mouse over it, which color do you want it to have? Let's also choose a different kind of blue. Okay. So I don't really want that over there, so I'll just delete it. So you can see that this is a very easy way for you. You can even change the background color of this. Once you click on it, just click outside here and then come and click on styles and background. You can even add a background image if that's what you want. If you want a border radius, you can add a border radius. And if we come back here, there is a border that has been created. There's a radius on the border. So there's a border radius. If I click outside here, you'll see it much more visible. So here on styles, under styles, you can edit different things. You can change a lot of different things here. There is also this thank you page. That's the form itself here. And then here there's a thank you page, whereby once they sign up, you'll give them a message. So since I'm not giving them any download, I can just say thank you. So if you come here to settings, let's see what we have under these settings. Under the form settings, there are also different options. You can change the campaign for this one. If you want the subscribers to go to a different campaign, you'll come here and choose the particular campaign that you want. So if you want confirmed opt-in, they have to confirm that they want to subscribe to your email list. Then they will receive a confirmation email in their email. So if I had cycles that I wanted to add, people who subscribe, I would add that here. But right now I don't have any autoresponders. Therefore, this is just redundant. Then you can choose a thank you page. You saw that there is this thank you page here. If I click on it, once they fill the form, then that form will be loaded. But in some cases, you may want to use your own custom page. So let's say you want to use a custom, you can just click custom and then you add the full URL. Maybe it's a download page that has a download link for them. You can add that here. Then if they're already subscribed, maybe you want to take them to a different page and tell them, hey, you already subscribed to my list. You can add a custom link for that. Or if you want them to do something else, maybe you want them to stay on your website, then on that page you tell them you already subscribed to this list, but you can watch the following video, or you can download the following, or you can go ahead and read latest post. So you can add that here. If you want a captcha, just add this. I usually find them very annoying, so just turn this off. Choose tracking. You can track the custom fields if you create any custom fields. So here you can add a custom field that you want to track. And then you can forward data. You can create it such that when people post, there are certain forms, maybe you want them also to be forwarded to your thank you page. So if you make any changes here, just click on save. I haven't made any changes, and you can see it just brings for me this error, so I'll just cancel. So this video is becoming very long and I don't like to edit long videos. So the next thing, in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to take the code for this form and we're going to see where we can put it once we publish it. So in this video, you've seen how you can edit a form. So you just choose a form and then you can edit it however you wish. If you want to change the colors of anything, you just click on that element and then click on style. And if you want to change the layout, you'll just come here and change the layout of different things. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back. So in this video, let's publish this form so that we can take it to our web page and we see how it appears. So if I click on save, so I'll just come up here and I will say save and publish. So in this case, you can see if you want to take the code yourself, you'll just say I will install the web form myself, or if you have someone else who will do this for you, you'll just click here and then you can send them an optional message. Then you put their email address here. Then you send them this message and it will send them that code so that they can put it on your website. Or if you want the form to be hosted on Getresponse, you can just take this link and you'll put it as a link on your website. So the first thing, actually, let's start with this one, whereby we can just add a link so that people subscribe to our form. In that, click on this link and it will take them to the form. So the first one, let me come to my WordPress. Let's say that we want to add it as a link here. So I can just say, click here to join. So in WordPress, if you want to create a new page, you just come into pages and then add new, and then you can create the page that you want to create. So add a link. Let me paste in the link for our Getresponse form, and I want it to open in a new window. So I'll click that. So if somebody clicks here, it's going to take them to our form. So let me publish. So I can go and preview and view the page. And if I click on this link, it should take us to our form. And you can see as we put it, it opens in a new window. So this is if you're using WordPress if you're not using WordPress, you can just do a little bit of HTML. I'm going to show you the HTML in a moment. So you can see that brings us to this form. So let's say that you're not using WordPress. So if I come here, this is a simple HTML that I created for my HTML and CSS tutorial. So if you watch that, you saw me create all of this. So what we want to do, we want to create a link, and you can take the same link, just copy it, put it on your website, and it will work for you as well. So let's say I want to add a link. So what I can do, I'll just come here. Okay, let me add that link after all of this. So if you want to add a link, you use the a tag, a href, and then under the href, within the href here, this is where you add this link. So your link, you'll bring it, you put it inside of the href, and then what you want to be seen, what you want people to see so that they can click and go to your web page. For example, in my case, it is this one. This is called an anchor text. So if you want your anchor text to say the same thing, so I'll just come here and put it there. And then if I want it to open in a new page, let me add target, and then target will be blank. This will make it open in a new page. So you can just take this, you see the way this is, you can just take this and then put it on your web page, come here and change your anchor text, what you want it to say. If you want it to say click here to download, it's entirely up to you. And then here you'll put in the link of your form, and I've shown you where this link can be acquired from. Also, if you want to learn HTML, I have a very short course on HTML and CSS. You're going to get this full file, HTML file, so that you can just copy this code. And we're going to use this for other examples. So you're going to get it as a resource, and you can use it to follow along with me. So if I come back here to the browser and I reload, you can see it is down here. I can just add break tag, at least to add some space beneath it. Control C, Control V, reload. Yeah, so if you see here, if I click this, it will take us to that form. So it brings us to our form. So this is a very simple way for you to just add a form. You don't really have to put it on your site. You can just link to it, and it will be hosted by Getresponse. So in the next video, we're going to take this code and put it on WordPress, and we are also going to put it on this HTML so that we can see if it's going to show up, even though this is not online. But I'm just going to show you how you can put it such that it can be displayed on your web page even if you're not using WordPress. So I will see you in the next video. But just a recap, in this video we have said that there are different ways in which you can display the form. One of them, which I've demonstrated, is how you can just host the form on Getresponse. You'll just create a link, come here, copy all of this, then link to it. Or you can send it to your web designer, just put their email address here, give them the instruction, send them the message. Or you can add the form yourself, and this is the one we're going to use in the next video. So I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So in the last video, you saw how we can just take this link and put it in any HTML so that your visitors will be able to go to where this form is on Getresponse and sign up. So if I click, this form will work. They just put in their details and sign up, and it will go to your contacts. We also saw how we can do the same thing on WordPress. So this is on WordPress, and we just added a link. And if you click on it, it will also take you to this form on Getresponse where people can sign up. Now in this video, what we want to do, we want to see how we can embed that form on a web page. So in this case, I'll just Control A, Control C and copy this code. Then I come back here. So the first place I want to put it, let's say that I want to put it inside here. So let's say you're running maybe Squarespace, or you're running a plain HTML website, or you're running something else that is not WordPress. What you can do, you'll just take this code and you will copy it. So let's say we want to add our form somewhere up here. So I'll just come back to the code and I will paste in that script. So let me paste it in here. And once I do that, and then I save, the script is going to load the Getresponse form. And then I come here and I reload, give it a moment, and you'll see that it's loading our form here. So I haven't used any styles for it, but I can put this inside of a div so that it is positioned this side. But that is beyond the scope of this tutorial. And right now what we want to do is just add the form. So once you do this, subscribers will be able to sign up. So you can see how easy it is. You'll just come here, copy the JavaScript code, and then paste it. Let's come to WordPress. And now in WordPress, what I want to do is, if you want to add code in WordPress, you need to add it via the text, not on visual. Click on text, and then let me put it here, and then update. So if I clear my cache, and then I come back here, and then I reload, you'll see our form will be loaded here. So just give it a moment. You'll see our form gets loaded here. So you can see that you can add your form very easily just by copying the JavaScript code in here into your page. So when you're copying it into the page, make sure that you copy it into the text area and not the visual area. So I know you're probably wondering, how do I add it to my widgets? So if you want to add it to the widgets, I do intend to do an example of that in a couple of videos with other forms. If you're feeling impatient, what you can do, you can just drag a text widget, and then inside of that text widget, copy this and then save, and your form will be displayed on the widget area of your choice. So another thing, right now I'm using Getresponse free trial. So after 30 days, all of this will probably not work anymore. So if you come to this page and this is not working, it is because I use MailChimp. So I don't intend to upgrade my account. I use MailChimp. And therefore, if you come here and you find that this form is not working anymore, it is because my account was not upgraded. But for you, if you want to upgrade your Getresponse, go ahead and do that, because Getresponse is very useful. It's really good for email marketing. And if you want to upgrade yours, you can go ahead and upgrade it. So as I said, you're going to get this HTML file, and the link for that is here. I'm going to put it there so that if you need to copy any code, you can just copy it straight from here, especially for the one with the link. If you just want to add a link here, In fact, let me comment this. Let me say the link for Getresponse form. Then we comment that. So if you get that, you'll just know that this is where the code for that is. So you can take this code and use it for your own purposes. As I said, you can add this code anywhere, whether it's on Squarespace, even if you're using Drupal, if you're using plain HTML, it doesn't matter. Just add the link to your form and people will be able to click on it and sign up. So just a recap of this video. We have seen how you can embed this form on WordPress. You'll just come to your WordPress page where you want to add it, click on text, and in the location where you want to put it, just paste in the script that you got from here. And if you want to add it to a text widget, just drag a text widget to the widget area that you want and then paste in this, save, and your form is going to appear on your widget. But I'm going to do that in future. Right now, this form is a little bit wide, and that is why I don't want to put it on a widget. So in the next video, let's continue on with forms and let's see which other type of form we can create. So I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So in the last section, we created a form, embedded that form on WordPress and on a plain HTML website. So in this video, let's go back to create forms and see which other kind of forms we can create. So in the last couple of videos, we used this, the list builder wizard. Let's see what we have under the list builder apps so that we can build at least one as an example. And if you need to build the others, you will carry the knowledge you've learned and then apply that into building any other form that you want. So let's go here and see which kind of forms we have. So here under list builder, there are specific forms for different tasks. So maybe you want a download box. This is just a simple form that you can use to encourage people to download something. If you want to read more about them, all of this, just click on any of them and it will take you to a link which will have something about each of these forms. But if you want to create one, you can click on it or you can click on use app now. So download box. So if I click use app now, you will see what it brings for us. So you see what this is. If you want people to download something, you can just click on it and then you can also design this the same way I showed you with the others. If you want to change the color of things, this is for changing the color. If you want to change the text, you can just click on it and change the color of anything in there. If you want to change the text here, you can change text. If you click on this, you can change the font. Just make sure you select, and you can also remove the text if you want to. And then if you want to change the button, you can change the button color. So there are a bunch of things that you can change here. Let me change the button color to something else. That's better. Now you can also change all of this. Just play around with this and see what you like. You can change the fonts. So if you want to change this font, if you don't like it, just come here, choose a different font, and it will change the font. And then the most important thing is add your URL. And the most important thing when you're adding that URL, make sure that, okay, let's take this as an example, Control C. Then I put it here. Make sure that your link always has this, okay? That, or if it is on a secure website, make sure it always has that, okay? So make sure it has this, the full link. This is called an absolute link. Make sure it has this. And then you can add other details here. You can choose the campaign that you want these lists added to, and all these other things, but I don't want to I don't want to do anything with this form. I was just showing you how it works. Then we have a fixed bar. A fixed bar is one which is up here. Okay, let me show you an example. So if you look up here, you'll see this form. So this was created using Mailmunch, and I also have a tutorial on Mailmunch. Mailmunch is a lead generation tool which you can use to collect subscribers. So this is also built on Mailmunch. You can just connect it to your Getresponse account so that when people sign up here, it will be added to your Getresponse or MailChimp or any other platforms that they integrate with. So I have a full tutorial on Mailmunch if you want to use it. And I personally prefer to use Mailmunch because the forms are very easy to deal with. You just take the code and then you put the code on your website and they work. That's the one they call the fixed bar. If you want one at the top, you can build one here, copy the code, and then sign up box. This is just a simple sign up box. Then a check box. I don't know which one this is. Let's read more about this one and see which one this is. So, okay. So I guess that's the one that shakes. That's the shake box. Now, you have all these other ones. This is the one which will scroll up. If you reach a certain level of a page, it will scroll up. When somebody scrolls, it will appear on the screen. It can appear down here. It can appear on this other side. So that's what a scroll box is. So we have all these others. Image box. This is the one. This is a form with a big image. So you can just come here and see what they're all about. In the next video, let's see if you can build one of these forms, take it to our WordPress and our HTML and see what happens. So the one we are going to be building, let's see, download, no, fixed bar, no. Let's build this exit pop-up in the next video and we're going to see what it's all about. So that's it for this video. At this point, if you have any questions, feel very free to let me know and I will be able to assist you in any way that I can. So I will see you in the next video when we start building the exit pop-up. Hi and welcome back. In the last video, we said something about the list builder apps. So what I want to do is just click on use app now for exit pop-up, or I can just click here on the image and it will bring this up. So let's see if you can build one of these exit pop-up forms, put it on HTML and see how it works. So let me change the font. I don't like this font at all. I'm a very simple guy. So I think Arial is really good. This one also. I love legibility, so I'm going to choose Arial as well. And let me make this one bold. And I want to change the color to blue. There we go. Yes. And I also don't like this pink. So I'll come here and change the color. And that seems okay. Alright. Now, what next? And this one, let's increase the font because we don't want people to feel like we are forcing them. Let's make it Arial, but it will still remain in italics. Okay, that's okay for me. And then what else? That seems to be okay. So you can change the name here. Let's call it confirmed opt-in. So if you want them to confirm that they want to sign up, you can turn this on. And this is good because at least it brings people who want to be in your list. You don't want to force people into your list. background transparent. Okay, display effects. What options do we have? Okay, so display effects, this is how it will come in. Let's say it will just slide in, right? And then display delay, 1 second. Okay, let's display it after 1 second. Display frequency 90 days, that's too much. Let's make it 3 days, so that once they see it, after 3 days, they can also see it again. So you can do whatever you want with yours. Okay, I'm just doing demonstrations. I'm not using these forms for any official reason, for any official purpose. So in your case, you will be using them for your website, and therefore make sure you give people the right message. Okay, if you want to change all the words, the text here, go ahead and change them. If you want to change the heading, go ahead and change this. If you want to change the call to action, go ahead and change this. So it will be up to you to decide how you want yours to be. Okay, so for me, that's it. I don't want to do anything else with that form. Then I will say save and publish. And once it's published, we can get the code and use it on our website. And then just down here, you see, we're going to get the script. And once I get the script, Control A, Control C, let me bring it here. And for this one, I want to put it down here. Control V. And let me comment it and say exit pop-up. There we go. So that's the comment. And then if I save it, come back here, reload, and let's say that I try to leave the page. Let me go. You see, if I try to leave the page by clicking on the close button, our pop-up shows up. And that's what we want, right? So you've seen now you can add it on HTML, on a HTML page. So in any website platform that you're using, as I've mentioned, things like Squarespace, maybe you're using PrestaShop, you're using Drupal, you're using Joomla, or maybe you're just using plain HTML. Just bring that code. And if you want this thing to be on every single page, you can just put it on the footer. You can put it on the footer, like in my case, I've put it here on the footer of this page. But if I was in WordPress, I'm going to show you in a moment how I can put it on WordPress such that it appears on every single page. So if you're on Squarespace, what you can do, you can just take this code the way it is. You go into your advanced settings, and then you go into code injection, and then add this into the footer. There's a place where it says the following code you can add on the footer. Just take this code, paste it there in that box the way it is, and this form will work for you on your Squarespace website. The same is for Shopify. If you're using Shopify, take this and put it in your theme footer, and then this form will appear on every single page. So right now, since I'm using WordPress, I can do the same thing for my WordPress website, and I don't want this video to be long, so I will do that in the next video. And in the next video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this code, put it on my WordPress footer so that the form can appear on every single page. If somebody tries to leave, it will show up. And remember that we said display frequency is 3 days. Okay, since I want to do this for demonstration purposes, I'm going to click here and say always. This is just for my demo purposes, so that every time I try to close, the form will always appear, and that's what I want. So let me save and publish, and in the next video I'm going to take the code, put it on my WordPress footer, and then we're going to demonstrate how it shows up if we try to leave the page. So I'll see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. So let's continue from where we left in the last video, and in the last video we saw how you can add this exit pop-up so that when somebody tries to leave, the pop-up will show up. And that's what we want to do in this video, but we want to do that for WordPress. So I'll add the code in my footer. So I will come back here, copy all of this code, then come back to my WordPress, and the objective is to add the code in my footer, in the footer of my theme. So if I come here into appearance, I can go into my editor. So I can select my footer, my theme footer. There we go. Whichever theme you're using, just scroll down to the last body element. So where the last body element has been closed, this one, you can just add your code here, but I usually like to add it before we end this. So I'll add it there. You can even add it immediately before this, okay? And it will still work. So if I update the file and then delete the cache, and then I come back here and let me just reload this page, and you'll see that once it has loaded, if I try to leave the page, it's going to pop up. And you see, if I try to leave the page, it pops up, and they can click, no thanks, I'm in a hurry. And then let me say I go to a different page and see if it's going to show up on any other page as well. So if I come to a different page and then I try to leave, you see, if I go to try and close this page, the pop-up shows up for me, and that's what I want. You can do the same. You can just come here, you'll take the code. Once you have designed the form the way you want it, even if you don't want this field, you can remove it. In most cases, if you have just an email address, you're always going to get more people subscribing. So if you don't want that, you can also remove it. And of course, you'd need to maybe expand that so that it can be long. You can come here and do the same for any of these other forms. If you want a download box, just come here, click, create the form, and then you'd need to add the code for whichever form you create here. So in the next video, what I'm going to do, let's just do a simple demonstration with the download box. Since I've already shown you how this works, and now you can do it for yourself, I'm going to remove that code because it doesn't serve me any purpose. So I'll just come back here and scroll down, and here it is. I will just delete that. I don't need it. I actually just need to remove this one, and then update the file, and that's it for this video. So in the next video, I'm going to create this download box, and then we're going to add it on a widget area. So I'll see you in that next video. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Feel free to reach out and let me know which issues you're having. You can also go to the Facebook group and ask your questions if you need help from me. Hi and welcome back. So in this video, what we want to do, we want to create this download box, and it will bring this builder for us, and we can build out our form and then publish it, and then I will take that code into WordPress and see how it works. Okay, so let's build out our form, and here let me change the heading. I can just say download image, I don't like the font. I'll just use Arial. I'm not going to change the colors. Let me just leave it the way it is. I don't want this name. I just want an email. So I can increase the length of that. Like that. Then let's say I'm just giving this image as a download. So let me copy that link. Put it there. And for you can change the name of your form so that you can know exactly which form it is and what it does. Like in my case, I would have said something like image download giveaway. So make sure you give it a name you'll be able to recognize among all the other forms you will have when you go to manage your forms. So you can change the campaign if you want to. Display delay 1 second. Display frequency 90 days. Let me say always for demo purposes. So this is going to be a pop-up, okay? That's why you have this display delay. You can delay it as much as you want. Let me just put it at 1 second. And then just with that, I'll save and publish. And if I scroll down here, Control A, Control C, this is a pop-up. So I can put it on the widget, but it will still be a pop-up. So I will have to do another example, which is not a pop-up, so that I can show you how you can put it on a WordPress widget. So in this case, let me just copy this, and I can even put it in the footer. As we saw in the other video, if you put it in the footer just before this, it will appear on every single page on your WordPress website. And you can also copy this code and put it in whichever website you're using. And let's say I go to my homepage. Let's wait for it to load. And you'll see that it brings our pop-up. And you can close it there if they don't want to see it. So let's say I sign up. And you see, it changes this to a download. So if I click here, it will bring us the download. So if this was a PDF, they would be able to download the PDF. If this was a video, they would be able to view the video or download the video. Maybe the link that you add, let's go back to our form. The link that you add here could be a Dropbox link, it could be a Google Drive link, it could be an Amazon AWS S3 link. So you can add a download link here and it will just work seamlessly. So you can see how easy it is to create a simple pop-up that will enable people to download anything right on your website. Since I promised that I was going to do something on the WordPress widget area, what I'm going to do is, in the next video, I'm going to go back to List Builder, choose a simple form, then take that code to WordPress and add it in a widget so that it can appear in one of the widget areas on my WordPress website. So that's it for this video. But before I end the video, let me remove this code, because now you know how it works and you know how you can put it in your own WordPress website. So I will see you in the next video when we get back here and build another form. So it's also important to note that when you get these files, most of my forms are probably not going to be working because I'm not going to upgrade my Getresponse account. So right now I'm using the free trial and I have over 20 days. And if you get this later on, you're going to find that some of them are not working. And that will be because I haven't upgraded my account. So if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. I will see you in the next video. Hey, and welcome back. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to take a simple form and then put it on my WordPress widgets. I'm not even going to do any editing on the form. I will just go straight away, save, and publish. And then I will come here and take this code, come back to WordPress, and then if I come here, let me go to widgets. I want to add it on the sidebar, and the easiest way to add any code in the WordPress widget is to use a text widget. So let me scroll down here and I will select a text widget. Just scroll. So I'm just pressing the up arrow on my keyboard, and then I can come here, drop the widget in there, paste the code from Getresponse, and then maybe I can give it a title and say sign up. And then I will save this. Then let me clear the cache, and if I come back, let me go to any page with a widget. And you can already see it's starting to load. And you can see that the form is too wide for my widget. So I can come back here. If I go back to the form creator, just down here, I can click on the form, just click outside of it. Then I will go into layout and let me reduce the width. I will reduce the width to 300. And then item spacing, let me reduce this one as well. And then I can drag this one manually, just like that. This one also, like that, like that, and like that. Then let me take the button up. Let me go back here into layout. Okay. How about this one? Then I can just decrease the size manually, like that. Just decrease it manually. Just drag it down, like that, like that. And if you want to reduce the size of this, you can also reduce the size. You'll just go into style and drag down the size. Okay. Like that. And then let me publish it once again. Save and publish. I don't think I have to change the code. Let me see. and then reload, and you can see the form size is now reasonable, and you see now it fits nicely. So that's how you can add a form onto your widget area. So I usually prefer to do this manually, because if I do it manually, I don't have to install a plugin, and in most cases plugins will just drag down the website load. So it will increase the load time of your website, because the more plugins you have, the more files that need to be loaded, and therefore I always advise that you do this manually. If you want to add a form on your website, on the widget area, just do it manually. Once you create the form, take the code, then drag a new text widget in the widget area where you want the form, and then add the code in there and save. In this case, I don't want this widget, so I'm just going to delete it. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. So if you want to edit the form, just go back to the form builder and you will be able to reduce the size as I've shown you. So I will see you in the next video. Hi and welcome back. In the last couple of videos, we've seen how we can build different GetResponse forms and use them to collect subscribers on our websites. So in this video, let's look at plain HTML. So if you don't know how to get here, you'll just come here into forms and then click on create forms. So let's come and click on plain HTML. And what plain HTML is, this is a place whereby you can build a simple form that will not have the styles such as the ones we saw in the different forms that you created. So if you want to create, for whatsoever reason, you want to create a simple form that doesn't have any styles or JavaScript, then you can just come here and build out your form. So you can see this one already has an email. You can even add name. You can add a name. And if you want name to be something different, you can change it there, name. This is whereby maybe you want to use this form and style it yourself, or you want to use it with an API. So maybe you want to use it with an integration where you want to build your own form. You can add other elements if you want to. All this here, you can add this URL, and you see if you add anything, it gets added here, and the code will also get generated here. So unlike the other forms, with this form, once you build it, you need to copy this, because if you leave this page, it will not be saved. So let's say I just copy this and I can put it here in my HTML so that we can see how it is. So I have created this div and I can add that code in here. So I can just call it, let me just call it naked form, because it doesn't have any CSS and it doesn't have any JavaScript. So if I go and view it in the browser, you'll see how it is. So if I scroll down here, you'll see this is how it is. It doesn't have any CSS and it doesn't have any JavaScript. So if I try to subscribe, it's going to go to GetResponse. So you can see this is one form you're not going to be using. If you really want subscribers, you're going to use any of these other options that you have up here. But if you know what you're doing, you can come down here, copy this code and use it with the GetResponse API. So in the next video, we're going to go into integrations, form integrations, and the first one we are going to deal with is Facebook. We're going to see how we can integrate GetResponse with Facebook, and then we're going to add a form on our Facebook page, and then after that we're going to do something about WordPress as well using a WordPress plugin. So I'm going to see you in the next video when we look at Getresponse form integrations. Hi and welcome back. So in this part, we've been looking at forms and how you can use different forms to collect subscribers on your website, or if you don't have a website, you can just use the link and lead them to the Getresponse form, and I showed you how to do that. In this video, let's look at form integrations. Now, these form integrations are for other platforms such as Facebook, WordPress, PrestaShop, Joomla, WooCommerce, Drupal. So if you don't know how to get here, you'll just come to forms, click on create form, and that will bring you to this place and you can follow along with me. Now, for Facebook, you can create a form and add it on your Facebook page, and I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to do an integration with WordPress. So if you use WordPress, you will download the Getresponse plugin and see how you can use it. And then if you use PrestaShop, PrestaShop is an e-commerce platform. So if you want to build an e-commerce website, you can use PrestaShop. It is built using PHP and it is a very easy e-commerce platform to use. So if you want to build an online store, online shop, you can check out PrestaShop. So if you use PrestaShop, you can learn more and see which modules or plugins you can download, and you'll be able to use Getresponse on your PrestaShop store. Then Joomla, if you use Joomla, Joomla is a content management system just like WordPress, and Drupal is also a content management system. So if you use them, you can check out the modules for Drupal that enables you to use Getresponse on your website, or you can just do it manually. Any of these platforms, if you use them, you can still take the code and add it on the page manually like I showed you. And then if you use WooCommerce for e-commerce solutions on your WordPress website, then you can get the WooCommerce plugin for Getresponse that will enable you to add subscribers on the checkout page into your Getresponse contacts. So let's see about Facebook, because this is where we are going to start. So you can just click here, add the app to your Facebook page right away. And then you can just click add to fan page. Make sure you're logged into Facebook. Yes. And then the next step, you select a page. So I want to add it to this page. And then click add page tab. So let me go to the page and see. So if you see here, we don't have anything to do with Getresponse. So right now, if I reload, so if you look at this, you will see that we have this new sign up right here. So let me click on it. So if you scroll down, there's this option, and I will need to get an API key. So let me show you how to get the API key on Getresponse. Just go into my account and then integrations, and then scroll down here to API and OAuth. Then we have this default API key, or you can generate a new API key. So let me copy this, Control A, Control C, come back into the Facebook Getresponse app. Then I will paste in the API key. So down here you can see we have this Getresponse 360. So Getresponse 360 is basically enterprise email marketing solutions from Getresponse. So if you want to know more about this Getresponse 360, you can just Google about it online. You can Google for Getresponse 360 or Getresponse Enterprise Solutions. So I'll just click login. And once I log in, it brings up my campaigns. It brings up my campaigns and my forms. So what I can do is I can choose a different campaign. I'll choose that, and then form. I don't have a form. Form alignment, I can say left. Let me just reload this page, and then let me select this campaign because the other campaign doesn't have any forms. So which one do I use? Let me just choose that one. I don't know which one it is. That's why I was telling you that it's good to give them names that you can recognize, so that if you have to use them somewhere else, you'll know which form you're dealing with. So just with that, let me say I want to align it left. You can add a message here. Okay, let me say just sign up, and then put it above the form and save. Show the form. Let's see how the form is on Facebook. This is the last form that I created. Let me close. So if people come to my Facebook page and they click on sign up, they're going to see this page. Since I'm an administrator, I will see this editing. So let me just remove this. Doesn't serve any purpose. Then I will save it again. So if I view the page when I'm not logged in, so if I click it, sign up, so you'll see the form is here. So you can build your form however you wish and add it on Facebook in the same process as we've done in this video. So you have to know which campaign you're working with. For example, this campaign doesn't have any forms, but I know that this one has some forms. Okay, so make sure you know the campaign you're working with, and when you build forms, make sure you know you've put them in which campaigns. So in this video, we have taken a long process in learning how you can add an integration to your Facebook. You can add a GetResponse form to your Facebook, and you've seen how you can do that. Now, in the same manner, you can do all these other integrations. Just click on them and see what options each of them has. So just feel free to try them out and see what else you can do. And in the next video, what we're going to do is we're going to download a WordPress plugin. So if I come back here, then go back into integrations, in the next video, we're going to install this plugin and see how we can add forms to our WordPress website. So I'll see you in the next video when we continue from here. Hi and welcome back. So in this video, we're going to install this plugin and then we're going to see what you can do with it. So let me come down here and I want to copy the name so that I can search for it within my WordPress. So I'll come here into plugins, click on add new, then I'll paste in the name, then I'll install it, install now, then I'll activate the plugin, and then if I come down into settings, I can come here and click on Getresponse so that you can see the options for the plugin. The next step is to add the API key. So let's go back to Getresponse. And to get your API key, it's under my account, then integrations, then let's come here to API and then copy the API, come back here, put it in there, and then save. So once you put in the API key, you can see that a bunch of options will come here. There is also an option for adding the forms within the widgets. And if you go to any page or post, you'll see this. This has been added on your WordPress editor. So you can see all my forms are here. So if you want to display a form, you can just select where you want the form to be. And then you choose the form. So like in this case, if I put the form here, let's just say I put whichever form that is. It will add the shortcode for our form right there. Let me update. Let me go and preview this page and see if a form was added on that page. So you can see it adds this form right here. And if you can remember, we also added this form manually using code. So this has been added using the plugin, and this one has been added using the manual code that we pasted in here earlier in one of the earlier videos. So you can see if you have the plugin, you can easily add a form into your page. So this will be on every page and every post. And you can just come here and choose one of your forms. And you see, this is why I was saying that it's very important for you to give your forms recognizable names. You can see this is web form. I don't even know which one this is. So when you're creating them, make sure you give them names that you can recognize and names that make sense. At least for this one would make sense. So if I wanted to add this pop-up, I would just click and it will add the shortcode for that pop-up right here. So I don't need this. I'll just delete it and then update. So if we come back here to the plugin settings, so to get to the plugin settings, you saw that you can just go to settings and then get response. So you see here that there's also a widget. You can just drag that widget into any area on your widgets area. So I'm going to the widgets page in a minute. Then subscribe via comments. You can add this option. You can add this, turn it on so that an option will be added for people to subscribe. When people leave a comment, there will be an option for them to subscribe to your list. Then I have a plugin that has a registration page. So if you have a similar thing whereby people register on your website, you can turn on this so that they will have the option to subscribe to your email list. And then once you change anything here, make sure you save. So this is what is available on every page. So in the WordPress editor, this option will be there for you. So you can just click on it and add a form on any page. So this is very nice, and at least it makes working with Getresponse really easy. So the only job that will befall on you will be for you to go to Getresponse and create these forms, because all these forms must be taken from Getresponse. They'll be taken from your Getresponse account. The next phase, let's go and see the widgets. So I'll just go to the widgets there. So on the widgets page, if I scroll down, I'm sure I'm going to come across Getresponse. So if I just drag it, let me just put it down here. And then you can choose a form. You can see how easy this is. Just choose a form, okay? And then just with this, if I save, not a pop-up, I want something else. Let me choose this one. No, let me choose this one. I don't know which one they are, so make sure you give yours very sensible names. And now let me come here and then reload this page, and we want to see if we are going to have a contact form down here. So if we scroll, you can see our form is loading. There is our form. So if you want to add your form, this is another way in which you can add it. You'll just drag the Getresponse widget to the widget area where you want to add it. Of course, I don't need this right here, so I'll just delete mine. In this video, we have learned how we can use the Getresponse plugin to add forms in a WordPress website. And the same is true for the other platforms that we saw, such as PrestaShop. Also, if you're using WooCommerce on WordPress, and then there was Drupal and Joomla. So if you're using any of those platforms, you can just install the respective modules or the respective plugins to give you the same functionality, such as this. So once you install the plugin, you see it comes with a widget. You can just drag a widget and then select the form that you want. And also, in every post and page, you'll come across this on the WordPress editor. So once you create your forms on Getresponse, you will be able to access them right here once you connect the plugin using WordPress and Getresponse. And you'll need your API key. So once you put the API key, all this will come into play for you as well. So that's it for this video. And in the next section, we are going to start looking at messages. We are going to look at all of this. So I will see you when we start looking at these messages, where we are going to create newsletters, and we're going to see how you can send out newsletters to your contacts. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, make sure you let me know, and I will see how to assist you. Until next time, see you. Hi, and welcome back to this new section where we are going to be looking at messages. So we'll be concentrating on this. We have taken a look at contacts, and we've also looked at forms. So if you didn't watch those, or you're still having issues with them, just let me know. So in this part, we're going to look at newsletters, and to get started, let me just click on Create Newsletter. So first of all, what are newsletters? Newsletters, these are the specific emails or the email designs that you'll send out to your subscribers. The good thing about Getresponse is that you can use the drag and drop editor, which will enable you to create really nice looking email newsletters without having to do any coding at all. So this is the one we're going to use, and I'm going to show you how each of the elements in the editor works. So I do anticipate that this section is going to be a long section because I know there's a lot to cover when it comes to newsletters, but I'm going to do my best and to chunk the videos into shorter segments. I'm going to divide the videos into short segments so that they can be easily consumable for you. Also, at any point, if you'll have any questions, just reach out. Make sure you let me know. You can ask any question in the discussion area, or you can ask it in the Q&A section. I'm going to start by creating a newsletter, a sample email newsletter, and then we're going to see what else we can do, like send the newsletter, how to edit it, and a bunch of all other activities that we can do. So for now, to get started, let me just click this. So you can give the message a name. Make sure it is something that you can easily recognize. And then the subject. So this will be the subject of your email. Welcome to my world. And then if you have other emails, you can choose them from there, or you can add a new one. And I will say go to the next step. So the good thing here, you can choose a design, a template, and just edit it. And that would be great because it will save your time. You can also import if you already have templates. Maybe you bought a template from theme forest. So you can just come here, click import, and import them. So coming back to these ones, you can also preview them. If you click this eye icon, this will enable you to preview the template, and then you can also select them. These are categories. Just see which category your business is in, and then you choose one of these pre-made templates. You can also send plain text. If you just want to send plain text newsletter, you can come down here, click plain text, and then you'll go next and add in your email text. You can also do your HTML code editor. If maybe you have HTML template code, just come in here, click this, paste it in there. Or you can buy some premium templates if you want to. But normally I like to start from scratch. So here I can choose the columns. Of course, I just want one column. Let me just choose this one so that I can show you that you can choose any template and you'll end up with whatever you want. So I'm going to show you how you can create your email from scratch using this from scratch. So welcome to the email editor on Getresponse. So in the next video, we're going to do an overview. We're going to do an overview of everything that you can see here. So I'll see you in that next video. And if you want to follow along with me, just do everything I've done in this video so that you can follow along with me and build a sample template that you can use in future. So I'll see you in the next video. Hey, and welcome back. This is where we ended the last video, and we were to start looking at this email editor and just go over everything that we have on screen here. So these are the blocks that you can put inside of your email. So this is very important because this is where you'll interact with your subscribers. Once you've built it out and sent it, this is what your subscribers are going to see. So this is very important. So let's have an overview of the email editor. So this is the email content. This side, this is where you'll add all the content, and you'll just drag things from blocks here. So you'll just be dragging things from this side, and you can drag things from the blocks and then add them on this end. We have all this. You can add this. You can add a button. We are going to build emails, and we're going to use this. I'm going to make sure that I use the most basic and most important elements so that you can learn how to use the most important elements when you're creating your own email templates. So the basic block, this has the elements that will be in there. Then we also have this social sharing. So maybe down at the footer, you can add share this, and they will be able to share them on social media. Then we have this PayPal. You can integrate this with PayPal, and if you go to integrations, that is under settings, you'll be able to integrate this with PayPal, and then you can add something that can be bought. They'll just click on it and it will take them to the PayPal link where they can buy something. So if you've ever sold anything using PayPal without any other e-commerce platform such as WooCommerce or WordPress, you know what I'm talking about. You just create your product on PayPal and then you share the links on your email, then they would be able to purchase whatever you're selling. Maybe it's an ebook or maybe it's something else. It all depends on what you want to sell. So the next thing we have here are snippets. So a snippet, let's say that I like this button. I've built it really nicely and I like it. So what I can do, once I hover over it, I can just come here and say save as a snippet, and it will be saved as a snippet so that next time I can just come here and drag it out, and it will bring my snippet. So if you love something, you can save it as a snippet. You just hover over it and then click there, it will save it as a snippet. Then we have history. So as you can see, history here. So this is like a timeline of the changes you've made to your template. So if maybe I don't like all the changes I've made, I can just click this one and it will take me back to that state. And if I think I went too far, I can click another one and it will take me to another state. So this is like a timeline of the changes you make to your email. So as you design your email, maybe you might make a mistake and decide, oh, I don't want to do that. Let me just go back and I will start from there. So that's basically what this history panel will help you with. And then if you come down here, you can switch to the HTML editor. Maybe you know some HTML and CSS and there's something you want to change. Maybe you want to change the color for links. In most cases, you'll find that links are usually very troublesome to just edit them. So you might want to do that using code. So if you want to use code, you can just click here and you'll be able to add any code that you want to within the HTML editor. Then we also have the plain text editor. If you want to create a plain text, then you can just click on the plain text editor and then you can switch from this to a plain text editor. So this will also switch from this and you'll not get all this functionality. You'll then have to do code or do the plain text. And then once you create a nice template here, maybe this is a really nice one and you want to reuse it, you can come here to save as and then you click save as a template. And then as you saw in the last video, there was a place where we chose this particular template that you wanted to use. So in that location, in that step, you'd be able to access your own templates so that you can reuse them. So if you build something that you think you might need to reuse over and over, you can just save it as a template. You can also save it as a draft, and if you go under messages, manage messages, you'll be able to see the drafts that you create. So there's also this area up here where you can test a message. You can send yourself a test message to see how it will appear, maybe on your mobile phone or on a computer. If you want to see how it will appear, then you can send yourself a test message. If you want to do an inbox preview, you can click here and it will show you how this email is going to appear on different email clients. But I don't usually like to use this because it is very slow. It loads pretty slow for me. Then you can check the spam score of the messages that you send. Then here we have the mobile preview. So you can see how your template is going to appear on mobile devices. Then you'd be able to change things accordingly. So what I'm going to do is, since there's so much to do here, okay? What I'm going to do is I want to give some level of closure, and the way that I want to do and the way that I'm going to give that level of closure is by just creating a very simple template, and then we are going to click next to see where this will take us. And after we're done with that, I'm going to start again, and then we're going to come back into a template, and then we're going to learn about all of this plus some more. So once you've learned how the email newsletter is sent, we'll come back and you can learn even some more about how to use all these basic blocks that we have here. And in the next video, let's start editing this in a very simple way so that we can understand what else we can do. So I'll see you in the next video when we continue from here. Hello and welcome back. So this is where we ended the last video, and what I want to do, let me go into history, and I want to start from scratch. So I'll just go all the way back, and then let me click on this because I want to remove all of this. So I'm just going to create a very simple template from scratch, and I don't have content ready. I don't have anything ready. Normally the way I do my tutorials is I don't even have the script ready. I just know what I want to do, and I follow the process in my head. So I don't have any script. I don't have any content ready. I just want to build this so that you can see that you can also do it from scratch without really having to plan anything. It's not too much work. You can do it too. So let's say welcome to my website. You will, of course, I don't want it to be this big, so if I select that, I can reduce the font right here. And of course, I don't want this to be bold, so I will click here to remove it from bold. And you know what, I can add an image here. Let me go back into basic blocks, and if I just bring it here, so here in images, what you can do, you can use the images which are already here, or you can upload your own images. So let me say I want to upload. So you can upload from a URL. If it is on your website, you'll just click upload from a URL, and then you'll add the link to your image. Here I want to upload from my computer, so let me just click from computer. So once it's uploaded, you can use it. So in this case, I'll just click use image. So there it is. So I'll click outside here, and I want to scroll down, and I want to move it. So if I want to move it, let me just click on this plus and move this block down. And I want to put it down there after this. And you can see here also there's an image. So here you can add a header image. Let me just click on it if you want to add an image. And I will also upload another image from my computer. Just double click on it, and then let it load. Click to use this image, let it load. So you can reduce the size. If it's too big, you can just scroll here and it will reduce the size. And then if you want to link something to it, let me say I want to link the website. Control C, click on it, and then here you see this link icon. Just click on it, add the URL. Make sure the URL has this part, and then visit website. So this is basically, if somebody hovers, this is what they will see. Then I'll click OK, and then again, let's say for the second image, I want to link to a post on my blog. So I'll come back to the website and get the link here. So if I copy the link, then I click on this image, add a link to it. There we go. Then I can say read more. Okay. Let me just add one more element before I go to the next step, because as I said, I want to build the first one to be a very simple template, and then we'll come back and we're going to add some more and learn even more. So here I'll click on social share, and let me add that down here. And just to create a boundary for them, let me go back to basic blocks, and I want to add this horizontal ruler. I can add 2 of them anyway. There we go. So let's say that's your template, okay? And if we look at here, this is how it will be on email clients on the mobile phones. I can say save as a template, and it's going to save it as a template. I can also save it as a draft, and I will show you where you can get all these drafts. Before I end the video, let me just click on next step. So in the next step, you can choose the campaign. So let's say I want to send it to new students. And then you can also select contacts manually. You can remove some contacts. You see here, you can exclude certain recipients. You can choose suppressions. If you added any suppressions, you can choose them so that they will be excluded. So let me just click next. Now that we've chosen the subscribers, let's choose next. So you see here, you can select more than one campaign. If you want to send to different campaigns, you just select more. You see, just select all the campaigns. So the next step is a review of everything. Here's your message. You can edit your message, your template. You can edit your subject here. You can edit your template. All of this, you can see that I haven't previewed the email, but that's okay. I don't really have to. And then recipients, I've added the recipients. And then just here now, you can schedule this, or you can send it right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on send right away. But if you want to schedule, you can just click on schedule and say when you want the newsletter to be sent out. You can see once you create the template, you can just send the template immediately, or you can schedule it. And the reason that there's a countdown is because it also gives you the opportunity to cancel. You see, you can cancel. So let's wait until it sends out. You can also create another one. You can view the message online. You can go to your newsletters to see the ones you've sent, and you'll also be able to see your drafts right there. And if you want to see how the email is performing, you can click here and see the events that are taking place. Are people clicking? Are people opening? Or are people just ignoring the message? This video has been sort of like a crash course on how you can create an email template and then send the newsletter. So in the next video, we're going to go back here. Let me just go back here to my newsletters, and then we're going to start again, and we're going to see what else we can do with our email, what else we can add. So basically, we're going to learn a little more how to create the email itself, the email template. So you can see this is the one that has been sent, the newsletter that has been sent, and you can see it says the message is sending, it's still being sent. And no deliveries have happened yet. And if I come here to drafts, you remember in the template area, in the email editor, there's a section whereby you can save as a draft or save as a template. So if you save it as a draft and you don't send it, you can come back here to messages. You can just click on exit on the email editor. And then if you come back here into messages, my newsletters, you can click on drafts and it will be there. So that's it for this video. That is this was a quick crash course on how you can create the email template, and then once you create the template, you saw how you can just click next and then send it. And once you send it, like in this case, you can see now it has been sent out. So you can see it has been sent out. So it was a very easy, simple step. You just create the email and then you send it. So in the next video, what you're going to do, we're going to start afresh, then we're going to create a new one, and then we're going to see what else we still have in the email template that we can deal with. So at this point, I'm sure you are able to add contacts. You can create a form, add it on your website, and then you can link that form to a certain campaign so that you can add contacts on your account. And then you can create a newsletter and send the newsletter to those contacts, to whichever campaign you want to send it out to. So up to this point, you're able to do any email marketing with Getresponse because you've done the major steps, which are how you can get contacts on your website. Or if you don't have a website, we added one on Facebook. We also saw how you can take the link from Getresponse and share that link out so that people can just subscribe directly on Getresponse. And now we have done the bigger bulk, which is how you can create an email without really any coding skills. You'll just come here under messages, create a newsletter, and then you choose the editor. And then in the editor, once you've created your email, you can save it as a template, or you can save it as a draft, or you can send it immediately like I did in this video. So this has been somewhat a long video, but up to this point, I'm confident that you're confident in your skills to be able to do the necessary email marketing tasks that you may want to on Getresponse. So I'll see you in the next video where we are going to create a new email template and see what else we can do and what else we can achieve. So I'll see you then.